So we are looking at the paper of December 2022. Paper of December 2022. And question number 2B, which reads this way. Lego Limited manufactures and sells two products, L and G, to a number of customers. The company is currently preparing its budget for the year ending that 1st of December 2023. The costs, selling prices, and demand units for its two products are as follows. So we have the selling price, variable cost per unit of direct material Q, material T, direct labor of 140 shillings per hour, overhead of 40 shillings per hour, fixed production cost per unit, we are given that, maximum sales demand for the month, we are given there. Then we are told the fixed production cost per unit is based upon an absorption rate of 200 per direct labor hour, and total annual production activity is 90,000 direct labor hours. 1/12 of the annual fixed production cost will be incurred. In addition to the above costs, non-production overhead costs are expected to be 577,500. During the period, the availability of material Q is expected to be limited to that 250 liters. It is the policy of Lego Limited not to hold inventory of finished goods. Now compute the shortfall in liters for material Q. So that question is on what we call a product mix. Let me first of all secure blocking this area that has a reflection so that it does not interfere with what I'm writing. So I was saying this question is on what we call product mix decision. Product mix decision. Now, in product mix decision, we have what we call a scarce resource. A scarce resource is a resource that is not free enough. So we are told to deal with material Q. We are told to deal with material Q. And let's analyze that. Material Q. Material Q. In regard to material Q, we are going to have two items. In regard to material Q, we are going to have the product here. Product here. And then liters per unit. Liters per unit. Total liters. Total liters. Liters per unit. So the space I've left in between there, you don't write anything. Okay, so the first product is product L. Product L. You can see in product L, for material Q, it has 200 shillings. And every liter is going for 25. So tell me 200 divided by 25 is how many liters? 8. Good. Na ukiangalia hapo chini kwa maximum sales demand, L we require 1,000. So 1,000 times 8, that will be 8,000. When you come to product G, it requires 250. So 250 you divide by 25, that must be 9. No, that must be 10. That must be 10. Then down there, we require 3,000 kilos. So 3,000 times 10, it is 30,000. So the required, you just add these two, you get 38,000. The next line, it is you bring the available. The available, according to information 3, it is that 1,250. So I need another line where I will come and say the shortage. The shortage or the shortfall. Tell me that 8 minus that 1,250 is how much? $67.50. $67.50. So that is what we call the shortfall. Now the optimal production mix based on priority ranking. The optimal production mix. Now in dealing with this case, we prepare what we call the analysis table. We prepare what we call the analysis table. We prepare what we call the analysis table. And the analysis table has several columns. So the first one is called details. And in the details, the first item we bring is contribution margin. Contribution margin. And remember, contribution margin is the selling price. Is the selling price minus variable costs. Minus variable costs. That would be the first thing that you require to get in our first column. The next thing that we require to bring is called key factor. Key factor per unit. Key factor per unit. Now, key factor is also called the limiting factor. It is the scarce resource. The next one that you bring is contribution. Contribution per key factor. Contribution per key factor. Contribution per key factor. And then we have the rank. Then we have the rank. So we have product L. And we have product Q. So you remember from the break-even, topic, that the contribution margin is the selling price minus variable costs. There's something that we need to do before we are satisfied with the variable costs. If you look at product L, if you look at product L in terms of labor hours, we are told it has so I'm saying in this one of L, so I'm saying in this product L, if you go to where there is the labor, you find that it is taking cost of 280, and each labor is being charged 140, each labor hour. So that tells you it is 2 hours. Now, if you go to where we are told about information 1, we are told the fixed production cost per unit is based on an absorption rate of 200 per direct labor hour. So that 2 multiplied by 200 It's the one that is giving us 400, the 400 that you can see there. The 400 that you can see there. Okay, so that is for the fixed. Now I wanted to go to the overheads. The question has not told us whether these overheads are fixed or variable. So what we shall take, because they fall under the word variable cost, we are going to take them as variable costs. So this is what you are going to do. Sasa utachukua selling price, tukiwa kwa product A, selling price of 2,000, you less material of 200, you less material of 400, you less labor of 280, and you less overheads of 160. That is what you are going to do. So tell me, what is the answer there? That will be the contribution margin for L. You take those variable costs. 960, good. So put 960 here. I do the same for who? For product G. Do the same for product G. $1,100, good. Yeah. 1,100. I also need figures from others. Thank you, Sirao, so that we're able to compare. So that is 1,100. So if that is true, let's proceed to the next column. The next column is what we have called the key factor per unit. And the key factor is the resource that is scarce, that has a shortfall. And we know that is material Q. So material Q liters per unit, this is 8, and this is 10. So the contribution margin per key factor, you take this one, you divide by this. So tell me, 960 divided by 8 is what? 960 you divide by 8 is 120. And this one obviously will be 110. So from there, in terms of ranking, you prefer the one that has the higher. So this will be number 1, and this will be number 2. That will be number 1 and number 2. So kutoka hapo, we are supposed to draw something called allocation table or schedule. Allocation schedule. Now this allocation schedule inakuanga na many columns. So the first one is called rank. The first one is called rank. The next one is called product. called product. Akaniweka mahali itafika, haikuwagi kubwa sana downwards. So that is rank. That is product. Then we have what we call maximum demand. Maximum demand. Maximum demand. After maximum demand, we bring key factor. Key factor, first of all, we bring per unit. Per unit, that's the first column there. Then we bring what we call available. Or we start with the required. You can start with the required. Then we bring the available. We bring the available. After bringing the available, tunaendelea, unatuambia nini? Unatuambia units made. Units made. Sema units made. Nakuja hapa. Unasema key factor. Key factor again. We have the used. Let me see board yangu inafika wapi. We have the used and the rest. Zile zimebaki or the remaining. So that is the design of the allocation table. Inaenda hivi. So rank, we have two products. Product 1 and 2. Kulingana na our ranking hapa chini, number 1 alikuwa L, number 2 alikuwa Q. Maximum demand for L is 1,000. For Q is 3,000. The liters, this is 8, this is 10. This is 8,000, this is 30,000. And the available, you remember, tulikuwa nayo that 1,250. So up to that point, I've not done anything new. I'm just writing what we have. So ukishafika hapo, tell me there. Write the word there so that now from there we proceed together. Good. I can see we are there now. So if we are there, what we are going to do, you argue like this. We want to make product 1, which is L, 1,000 units, each taking us 8 liters. And that means we require a total of 8,000 liters. And with us, we have that 250 liters. So can we afford? Can we afford? Yes or no? Yes. So if you can afford, you make all the units that are required, the 1,000. And after doing that, you will have used 8,000. So tell me, when we use 8,000 from that 250, we are left with how many thousands? $23,250. Good. 23,250. Now that which remains here in the past becomes available for the second one. Becomes available for the second one. 23,250. And furthering the same argument, you can see we require to make product 2, which is called Q. We have 3,000 units required, each taking us 10 hours. That are 10 liters. So that means we must have 30,000. And with us, you have 23. So can we afford? Can we afford? Yes or no? I can see Sirao. What about the others? I can see Vera. The others, what do you think? Can we afford or not? The answer is yes or no. Okay. Let's see, Martin. Okay, now the answer there is no, because we require 30,000, but we have only 23. However, the yes can also be true, or is also true, because we can do some, but not all, though the first question was regarding all of them. So if we cannot do all of them, then what you do, you ask yourself, how many units then can you make? If you cannot make the 3,000 with 23,250 liters, each unit taking you 10, how many units can you make? Give me that. Yeah, good. 23, 25. We can afford to make 23, 25. Ndio tukue tumetumia 23, 250. And we are left with 0. We are left with 0. So the question was asking the optimal production mix based on priority ranking. So this one, you can leave it that way and you'll have answered that question. But if you want to specify to the examiner, you can come and tell him optimal production mix. Optimal production mix. We have the product here. And then we have units. But this one is not very necessary because we are just extracting what you already have there. Product L, tumesema we are making 1,000 units. Product Q, we are making 2325. That's now what we'd call. Okay, here's Jacinta. Umesaidiwa, it's December 2022. Okay. Question number 2. So, we have answered that. The next, welcome. The next is the net profit at optimal production. So net profit is always given as, or in this case now will be given as the total contribution. Total contribution, you minus the fixed costs. You minus the fixed costs. So the total contribution will be arrived at this way. For product L, we are making 1,000 units. And you remember from our workings, each had a contribution of 960. 960 plus Q, we are making 2325, each with a contribution of 1,100. That is the total contribution. Then for the fixed costs, this is how you go about them. We are told, according to information 1, that 1/12 of the annual production cost will be incurred. And how do we know the total fixed costs? Ukisoma hiyo sentence from the beginning inasema, the fixed production cost per unit is based on absorption rate of 200 per direct labor hour. And the total annual production is 90,000 direct labor hours. So you are supposed to take the 200, you multiply by the 90,000. That will give you the fixed cost for the whole year. But we are told 1/12. So times 1 out of 12. So it is based on a month. Then there is another cost. Information 2 inasema, in addition to the above costs, non-production overhead costs are expected to be 577. So plus 577, 500. Those are the 2 components of fixed costs. So work them out and tell me the answer. Waiting for the answer. I can see from Vera that is 1.44 million. 1,440,000. Someone else to confirm. Good. Even Jemima confirms. So if the figure is confirmed, then that question is completed. So that is how you deal with questions on product mix. Let's go to question 3A. I think we solved that question in class. Is that so? Tell me, remind me whether we solved so that we skip it. But if we did not solve, we solve now. We solved, okay. So if we solved, let's proceed to part B of the question. So part B of the question, inasoma Bigwa Limited operates a premium bonus system where workers receive a guaranteed basic hourly minimum rate of pay plus a bonus of 50% of the time saved. The following data is provided for the last week of November 2022. We have the particulars of those workers, time rate per hour, units produced, time allowed for 100 units, time taken, rejected units. Okay, no payment is made beyond the time allowed. Okay, the bonus, which is paid at the basic hourly rate, is applicable to the accepted output only. No penalty is imposed on rejected output. Now, from the above information, calculate for each worker bonus hours and the amount of bonus and labor cost for each good unit produced. So the question says that they are earning a bonus of 50% of the time saved. Okay, so the bonus, we can have a table, We can have a table. We can have a table where we have details. Represented in a tabular way, where we have details here. Then we have this person called Bera. We have this other one called Charlie. And we have this other one called Dan. The question is saying that the bonus is on the basis of time saved. Is on the basis of time saved. So I want us to get time allowed per unit. Time allowed per unit in minutes. Let's first of all deal with minutes. Then later on we can convert them back to hours. So ukiangalia, like now this guy is going to have 2 hours times 60. 2 hours times 60. You want to convert that to minutes. So plus 36, you divide by 100. Tell me how many minutes are those? 1.56. 1.56 minutes. Let's go to Charlie and do the same thing. It is 2 times 60 plus 30. And divide by 100. Tujue naye for 1 unit. $1.5. Then huyu mwingine, it is 2 again times 60 plus 30 out of 100. So this and this one will be 1.5. Those are minutes. Let us now get the time allowed. Total time allowed in hours. The total time that is allowed in hours. So ukikuja kwa Bera alitoanga 2500 units. Na each one alikuwa amekubaliwa 1.56 minutes. So you convert them back to hours by dividing by 60. You convert them back to hours by dividing by 60. Uniambie how many hours those are. 65. We do the same to Charlie. He did 2200 units. And each one alikuwa amekubaliwa 1.5 minutes. You divide by 60. Oh, 55. Okay, 55. And for Dan, it is 2600 multiplied by 1.5, divide by 60. Divide by 60. Or 65. So time taken in hours. Time taken in hours. Time taken in hours. You can see this guy wa kwanza alichukua 55 hours. Huyu naye akachukua 58. Na huyu naye akachukua 54. So time saved in hours. Time saved. Huyu ni 65 minus 55. That would be 10. Huyu ni 55 minus 58. You don't write negative. You write 0. If it is a negative, you write 0. He did not save any time. He actually exceeded. Huyu mwingine, it is 65 minus 54. He saved 11 hours. He saved 11 hours. Now the bonus hours will be 50% of what was saved. Bonus hours, it is 50% of what was saved. So we are gonna 5. We are gonna 50% of 0, so he gets 0. Now we are gonna 50% of 11, so he gets 5.5. So those are the bonus hours. Then the amount of bonus earned. Amount of bonus earned in shillings. Amount of bonus earned in shillings. Tunaambiwa he is paid, receive a guaranteed basic hourly rate of pay plus a bonus of 50% of the time saved. So it is this one, the time saved times the basic rate per hour, which is 300. So huyu alipeleka nyumbani bonus ya 1500. Naona kuna mahali tuli miss. There is somewhere we missed. There is somewhere we missed. Information number 2. Inasema the bonus which is paid at the basic hourly rate is applicable to the accepted output only. The accepted output only. Sasa itabidi turudi hapa kwa time around. We have a lot of adjustments to make. So tuanzie hapa. Hapa he had made 2,500, but his rejected was 100. So it's supposed to be based on 24. So tell me the new figure. Make those adjustments. Tell me the new figure. Bidi turudi hapa juu. 62.4. So sasa nikikuja hapa, hii tunabadilisha ndio ikuwe 62.4 minus 55. So tell me the time saved now will be what? Time saved will be not exactly 4. 7.4. Good. 7.4. So 7.4 ukitafuta 50%. It is going to be what? 3.7. So hiyo 3.7 ndio tugereta hapa. So tell me 3.7 when you multiply by 300 is 1110. Let us go and do the same thing pale kwa Charlie. Charlie naye, his rejected units were 40. So instead of charging him 2,200, tutamcharge 2,160 units. 2,160. So that is going to bring a change here. With 160 times 1.5, I'm told is 54. Okay. So if this is 54, at least these ones remain the same, zeros. Tuende kwa Dan. Dan naye aliharibikiwa na 200 units. So hapa tungemcharge 24. So tell me what will be the new value. The new value. Thank you, Vera. Na wengine mko wapi? Not giving the figures. So if it is 60, nikirudi hapa nitasema 60, and this will be 6. This will be 6 here, and this will be 3. So make those adjustments. Sorry for that oversight. That additional information escaped my attention. So, tukikuja kwa Charlie now, the amount of bonus will be 0 times his basic rate. His basic rate is 280. So that gives us 0. That gives us 0. Then tukienda kwa Dan, analipwa 320. So it is 3 times 320. Tell me what is the figure there? 3 times 320 is what? 960. 960. That is what we have there. So I think we have answered that. Labor cost for each good unit. So let's now compute the basic pay. Let's compute the basic pay. The basic pay in shillings. The basic pay. What does the question say about the basic pay? We are told that he's paid a guaranteed basic hourly minimum rate of pay. So that rate is guaranteed, and no payment is made beyond the time that is allowed. So we are going to take the time allowed times the basic. Ama tuanzie na basic. Basic rate huyu ni 300. And the time taken is 55. Hiyo ndio nalipwa na alikuwa amekubaliwa what? 62.4. So he has not exceeded the time that was allowed. So yeye atalipwa hii 55. So tell me 300 times 55 is what? 16,500 kids. Ukikuja kwa Charlie, his basic rate is 280. But you see the time taken, he took 58 hours. But alikuwa amekubaliwa 54. Now the terms are, the maximum you can be paid is just the time that has been allowed. According to information 1, no payment is made beyond the time allowed. So sasa, despite the fact that alichapa 58 hours, tunamlipa 54. $15,120. Done, rate yake ni 320. And alikuwa amekubaliwa achape 60 hours. But he took 54 hours. So you multiply by 54, the time taken. $17,280. So the gross pay, it is the bonus 1,100 plus 16,500. The gross pay. Vera, nimesema, maybe the only new thing that I have said is this company is saying you are only paid up to the time that is allowed. Because according to information 1, wanasema no payment is made beyond the time yenye ikubaliwa. Ordinarily, what happens, you are supposed to be paid for all the hours that you have taken, the time taken. That is what is supposed to be paid. But now these guys are saying, if your time taken is more than what you had been allowed to take, you will only be paid the time allowed. Looking at Charlie alikuwa amekubaliwa maximum ya 54. But yeye alichukua 58. So hatutamlipa hii 58 kama venye tunalipa wengine. Yeye atalipwa 54 because asha hit the maximum. Is that okay, Vera? Good. Now tell me this one. 1,100 plus 16,500 is a total of what? Is it 17,610? Oh, this was 10. Okay, 11. Okay, thank you. So 17,610, 17,610. Huyu bonus yake ni 0 plus the basic. So yana baki na 15,120. Alafu hapa huyu ako na 960 plus 17,280. 960 plus 17,280 is 18,240. 18 to 40. So the question was labor cost per good unit. So labor cost per good unit made. Labor cost per good unit made. So in this one, takuwa unachukua hii 17,610. The good units ni hizi tulikuwa tumesema hapa 2400. So tell me, Vera is saying 7.3. 7.3. Okay. Then tukikuja hapa tutasema ni 15. 120 and the good units are 2160. For Chari ni 7. Then 18,240. 18,240, the good units are 2,400. $7.6. So that is okay. So that is how the question is supposed to be handled. Remember, I told you labor cost questions are general knowledge. So we may not really have a very standardized format. It's general knowledge questions. So with that, let's go to question number 4B. Inasema Quarter Limited manufactures and sells a Tigo product branded TT with a standard cost of 1,100 made up as follows: direct materials, direct labor, variable overheads, fixed overheads. Then tunaambiwa the standard selling price per unit is 1,300. The monthly budget projects production and sales of 1,000. Actual figures for the month are as follows. So we are given that, and we are told now to compute those variances. Okay, I was adjusting that so that They're not affected by background noise. So that question is on variances. I hope you can hear me well. That's all. Good. So the first variant that we are told, I will just write initials because we wrote the full figure or the full names when we were looking at this topic. So when we are told to get material price variance, we said it is the standard price you minus actual price, you multiply by actual quantity. Standard price minus actual price, you multiply by the actual quantity. Sasa unaenda hapo juu kwa materials, hapo kwa standard card. Unapata direct materials. It is 15 square meters at 30 shillings per square meter. So the standard price is 30 shillings. The standard price is 30 shillings per liter. Then uteremuke where we are given the actual figures. We are told direct materials, 22,000 square meters at 40 per square meter. So that means the actual price was 40. And the actual units that were purchased, or liters or square meters, they are 22,000. So tell me, how much is that? $220,000. And I can say Zirao has told us it is advanced already. Good. It is advanced. It is advanced because we paid a higher price. It's not advanced because it's negative, but it is advanced because the actual price was more than standard. Otherwise, kama kwa your formula ungeanza na 40 hapa, alafu 30 hapa, mathematically it would have come out as positive, but it would still be advanced because we look at the size of the actual compared with the size of the standard or the budget. Haya, huyo mwingine, material usage variance. Material usage variance, tulisema it is computed as standard quantity minus actual quantity. Standard quantity minus actual quantity, you multiply by the standard price. Standard quantity minus actual quantity, we multiply by standard price. Now, in that case, our standard quantity is computed like this. I told you, unaangalia hapo juu kwa standard. Ukienda kwa standard, unapata 1 unit of productivity was supposed to take us 15 meters. Was supposed to take 15 meters. That is 1 unit according to our standard. Then unateremuka hapo chini unaangalia how many units did we actually make. Now we are told actual figures for the month of November, there was as follows. We are told sales 1,200 units and actual production was 1,400. So you are supposed to work with the production, the actual units that were made. 1,400. 1,400. You less than actual materials. That is 22,000. At a starting price of 30. So tell me that would be what? That is 597,000. 597,000. Is it favorable or advanced? Is it favorable or advanced? 15 times 1,400. Even the answer is not that. Because this is 21, so it should be 30,000. Now, that's good, Vera, corrected. My question was, is this favorable or advanced? Now you realize this is 21,000, and this is 22. So if it is 21, ni kumaanisha tulikuwa tumepanga kutumia 21, but we have used 22. Is that good or bad? We should have used, I'm saying we should have used 21 meters to do the same job, but we used 22. Yeah, that is bad news. So if it's bad news, this is advanced. Good. The next is labor rate variance. So labor rate variance, tukasema is given as standard rate minus actual rate. You multiply by actual hours. Standard rate minus the actual rate. Multiply by actual hours. So ukienda hapo juu unapata the standard rate, direct labor hours, 5 hours at 100. So the standard rate was 100. Minus the actual rate. Ukiteremka huko chini, direct wages 6,800 hours at 110. And the actual hours are 6,800. So tell me what that value is. $68,000 advance. Good. It is 68,000 advance because we ended up paying a higher rate than what we should have paid. We paid a higher rate. Higher. Labor efficiency variance. Labor efficiency variance. Just a minute, I respond to this call. That's mwalimu. So let's continue now. I was saying that the labor efficiency variance is computed as the standard hours minus actual hours. You multiply by the standard rate. The standard hours minus actual hours, you multiply by the standard rate. So in this case, what you do, unarudi hapo juu, unapata 1 unit was supposed to take 5 hours. So it is 5 times 1,400. The units that were produced, you less the actual hours, 6,800 after standard rate of 100. So tell me, what is the answer there? I'm waiting for the answer. Oh, it's already, is it 68,000? No. That was for the previous, eh? So it's 20,000. 20,000. And that 20,000 is favorable or advance. Now this is 7,000. So we were supposed to have used 7,000. But we ended up using 6,800. Is that good or bad? It's favorable. Good. The next one that we are taught to compute is fixed overhead capacity variance. Fixed overhead capacity variance. Now for the capacity variance, I told you it is budget labor hours minus actual labor hours. Budget labor hours minus actual labor hours. You multiply by fixed overhead absorption rates. You multiply by fixed overhead absorption rates. Budget labor hours minus actual labor hours. The difference is multiplied by fixed overhead absorption rates. Now, in this case, the budget labor hours, you come here and say, according to our budget, every single unit should have taken us 5 hours. And the budget was to do, according to what we are told there, the monthly budget projects production and sales of 1,000. So times 1,000. But the actual hours that we took, they were 6,800. At a fixed rate of the fixed overheads, they were, if you look at the standard, it was 10 shillings per hour. It was 10 shillings per hour. Okay, so this is 18,000. So 18,000, is that favorable or adverse? We had budgeted for 5,000, but we ended up using 6,800. We used more hours. This is favorable, not adverse. Is favorable. You pay as per the budget. You don't pay more. If it was the efficiency, let me compute for the efficiency. That's a minute. Fixed overheads efficiency variance. Fixed overheads efficiency variance till the standard labor hours minus actual labor hours. We multiply by fixed overhead absorption rate. So here, the standard was 5, so multiplied by 1,400 minus the actual of 6,800. Times 10. What is the answer? 2,000. So now this one is 2,000. And you see here, the standard was to use more. To use, we were supposed to have used what, 7,000, but we used less. So that one is favorable. Favorable. I hope you see the difference. Hapa, this is 5,000. Tukatumia more. So we pay per the budget. So tutalipia hiyo 5,000. Sio 6,800. So that is what? Favorable. Here, we used more. But tunalipia hii 6,800. But tulitumia more. So it is favorable. I hope that is good enough. And remember, I told you, ukichanganyikiwa for survival purposes, don't triple. Ukiacha hivyo, no one will be strongly justified to cancel you, not unless the examiner had specified that you must label. You can argue your case that we ulijua ni venye time haikutosha ya kulabel kuwa na haraka. But the moment you tell us it is F or it is A, it leaves no doubt whether you know or you don't know. So ukichanganyikiwa, you can just leave it. But that is only for survival in the exam room. Otherwise, in practice out there, you must tell your client whether it is favorable or adverse. Okay, tunaendelea. So hiyo swali tumemaliza. Any question there? If we are okay, say yes. So that I move to the next question. Okay, sawa. So I'll just go with those two because hata kwa figure zao tu ndio wananipea, wengine ni kama walilala. Yes, Martin, that's good. Haya, tell me whether question 5C you solved with mwalimu in class. 5C. Kama it was solved, andika done. Or if it was not solved, andika not. If it was solved, andika the word done. If it was not solved, andika the word not. So it was not done. So if it was not done, okay, the question says, Ocean Limited is preparing its budget for the year ending 30th of June 2023. It is decided to estimate an equation of the form y is equals to that, where y is the total maintenance expense at an activity level X, A is the fixed maintenance expense. The following information related to the year ending. So we are given that. Alafu sasa tunaambiwa estimate the total cost function using the ordinary least squares method. So if you are told to use ordinary least squares method, ordinary least squares, remember this is also what we call simple regression method. Simple regression method. It has those names. The equation is usually given as the y equals to a plus bx, where to get b, we say it is n sum of xy minus sum of x, sum of y. You divide by n sum of x square minus sum of x into brackets square. That's how you get b. And to get a, we say sum of y minus b sum of x. You divide by n. So with that, we need to prepare analysis table. Analysis table. And the analysis table inakuanga na 4 columns. Inakuanga na column ya X, that is the machine hours. Inakuwa na column ya Y, which is the maintenance costs. Alafu inakuwa na X multiplied by Y. Na inakuwa na X squared. Those are the columns that we require to create. So for X, we have 400, 960. Oh, now You see, that is good. If I continued that way, I would have made a mistake. Because the hours are not in thousands, but the what? The cost is in thousands. So it is either, kama unataka kutumia hii na N60, this one you make it 0.4, everything to be in thousands. Or you convert back. You convert back. So let me see whether the figure will be too huge. 400 times 9, 60,000. Those figures will be so huge. So if I put the figures in thousands, which one do you want? In thousands ama tuweke zikiwa full? Which one do you want? In thousands. Good. So if it's in thousands, then this one will be written as 0.4. Then this will be 0.24 versus 880. This is 0.08 versus 280. This is 0.4 versus 1200. This is 0.32 versus 800. 0.24 against 640. This is 0.16 against 560. This is 0.48 against 1350. 0.32 against 660. 0.16 against 440. Okay, I can see the figures, your response. Sasa nataka uniambie the totals. Kope hivyo na uanze kuniambia totals. Let us start here. Nipatie toto ya hizi x's. Y I'm told is 7770. Good. Give me x now. $2.8. Tuende kwa hii xy multiply 7.4 times 960 is 384. 0.24 times 880 is 211. 0.08 times 280, 22.4. 0.4 times 1200 is 480. 0.32 times 800, 256. 0.24 times 640. It's 153.6. 0.16 times 560 is 89.6. 0.48 times 1350 is 648. 0.32 times 660 is 211.2. 0.16 times 440 is 70.4. Oh, I can see Vera already has given us the answer, 2526.4. 2526.4. Good. Give us now the answers for x squared. 0.4 squared plus 0.24 squared plus 0.08 squared plus 0.4 squared plus 0.32 squared plus 0.24 squared plus 0.16 squared plus 0.48 squared plus 0.32 squared plus 0.1, yeah, 0.928. 0.928. By the way, si lazima ushinde ukiandika huku. You can just put the figures in the calc. I think those who are in my QA class, I must have showed you how to use the calc direct. So if those figures are okay, I want us now to substitute. So I want to clear here so that I can substitute. We get the value of B. B is given as N. N, these figures are, they are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are 10. So it is N times sum of XY. This one, 2526.4. Minus sum of X, which is 2.8. Times sum of Y, 7770. You divide by N, that is 10. Multiplied by sum of X squared. Sum of X squared is 0.928. Minus sum of X, 2.8 times 2.8. So solve that and give me the answer. $2436.11. 2436.11. You can work with 3 decimals because our figures are in thousands. Okay, the value of A in sum of Y, 7770 minus B, 2436.111 times sum of X, 2.8. You divide by N, which is 10. 94.889. Good. Therefore, y is going to be given as 94.889 plus 2436.11x. And remember, this equation is in thousands. The equation is in thousands. So when they come and tell you, determine the total cost if 1050 machine hours were primed. So with 1050 machine hours, costs will be 94.889 plus 2436.11 times, you make this one to be 1,000 times 1.05. Or if you don't want to make that to be thousands, what you do, you can say cost is equal to, you only change this one. So itakuwa 94.889 plus 2436.11 times 1050. So if you want to take it back, you only change A. B remains. Remember, B is a ratio. Yeah, so either of those two ways. So if I'm taking 94.889 plus 2436.111 times 1.05, I'm getting 2652.80555. Then 94.889 plus 2436.11 times 1050, it is 2,652,805.55. So either way can work. So hiyo karatasi tumemaliza. So we call it a lesson at that point. Tomorrow class, can we also do it early morning? Purely virtual. So you can also do it early morning, purely virtual. Okay. Sawa. Okay, thank you so much. Then we can meet tomorrow, the same time at 6 in the morning. Thank you.